you know the tragic story of Millie and Vanilli, the hamsters, it may make you realize that sometimes you need to just save a little bit for a rainy day because you never know what a rainy day is going to come. Painting your house with off-gassing paint is apparently detrimental to the health of rodents. Cameron Johnson is back with us, who works at Itex, a company that helps their clients enrich their businesses and personal lives through the power of organized trade. Cameron, first, welcome back.
Thanks for having me back.
Have you ever heard of hamsters croaking because of paint? I mean, it's pretty wild.
No. One time, my sister and I's rabbits died. That's about the closest correlation I've got there.
Oh, man.
It was mysteriously, one night, they were fine, and we came back the next day, they were dead in the cage, but they were outside, and so I don't think paint fumes had anything
He
to
did
do
not
with it.
paint. It wasn't paint.
No.
That's good. It's good because that would have caused, that causes a tough day. I imagine for kids, or in Paul's case, his dog, which must have been very sad. But I have a question for you because in business, obviously we're not. Most people are not catering to hamsters or rodents or any type of animal.
Sure.
But they are catering to people, and sometimes things turn south in business where the rainy day may be more of a slightly financial detriment to, your finances. Tell me a little bit about trade and how maybe trade can help people prepare for that rainy day fund.
Sure. Well, in a nutshell, to be as brief as possible, trade, as we're talking about, we're referring to organized cashless business marketplaces, barter systems for businesses that are designed for small and medium-sized businesses, in my company's case, to do a little extra business without involving the good old U.S. dollar. And basically, most businesses aren't running at 100 or 110% capacity 100% of the time. It means they have extra time or extra product that's not immediately going to productive use. Trade groups help businesses turn that into something productive right away. So it keeps the wheels churning, keeps business flowing, keeps revenue coming in. And as far as that ties into the whole rainy day idea you're talking about, you never know. If you go back and look at your books, I just finished closing my books on my business, 2012. And I go back, and when you actually take a detailed look at all the different places you spend money, there's a bunch of areas that are, budgeted for, and you expected to spend some money there. And there's some that you look at and you go, oh, man, I wish I didn't have to spend money there. And some, that was money well spent. But I also noticed, and I'm sure many people do, that there's a bunch of unexpected areas. There's areas you don't always plan to be spending money. And having a trade account, having a trade resource often can be a very useful tool when the scenario presents itself where some of those unexpected expenses, jump up at you. Mm-hmm. Because trade groups typically have a variety of businesses in a variety of different categories, there's a unique ability to tap into. Maybe it's automotive, maybe it's financial services, maybe it's home repair, maybe it's something else entirely. But the whole rainy day fund that we strive to have and probably never have quite as topped off as we'd like to can really be supplemented by trade. And I personally have experienced this. I'm in the business of trade, but in the last couple of months I've had unexpected car repair work that I needed to have
remember
done.
that day.
Yeah. I was talking to you that day. I had, some friends over, and there was a rather dramatic spill on the carpet in my living room, one that I can't just handle with some paper towels and
Club soda.
Club soda.
It's a red wine reference, I would imagine.
Sure. A family member's heater crapped out. Can I say crap on the radio?
You already did.
In the middle of December when it was real chilly. These things we don't plan on, and thanks to the trade account I have, I'm a client and also a member, or whatever the phrase is. I don't know. I don't remember. But the point is,
is that a hair club for men reference?
I think it might be. I'm all over the place today. But the point is, I have an account just like our customers do, and that account came in very useful for me the last few months for some of these unexpected expenses that would have, if I looked at my savings account now, how much lower would it be if I didn't have those trade dollars?
So, we just have a couple minutes left, but let's talk about even what some of those unexpected expenses can be, or the things you don't want to spend money on. I mean, I know you guys have accountants in your network. I don't know a lot of people who are who can't wait to go pay their accountant to figure out how much more money they need to spend on their taxes.
Yeah.
It's a kind of a double-edged sword there.
Indeed.
So, you can maybe lessen the blow of something like that.
Yeah, that's a great point too. Something that you just touched on. It's not just expected. I don't know why I'm tripping over that today.
Unwanted expenses. Maybe.
Unwanted expenses. It's both. It's things that come as a surprise. Oh shoot, I had to get my car fixed. But there's also things maybe you put off that you could do, you should do. You're not going to do it now. You don't want to justify it in your budget. It just sounds. Buying is such a psychological process. It sounds expensive. It sounds like a pain. When the trade dollar comes into play, when you've got that extra revenue stream that you can replenish by calling your friendly neighborhood trade broker, those decisions get a lot easier a lot of the time. You're willing to splurge or do the things you need to do to get this, get your counters sealed up tight like you need to, or whatever it may be. So yeah, those unwanted expenses become easier to tackle.
Mm-hmm. Well, and it always does feel expensive when you have to pay money for something you don't necessarily want to do or need or felt the need to, right?
Or you want someone tells you need to, and your brain believes them, but your heart doesn't. And this sort of thing. Yeah, it gets a lot easier when the money's a little more flexible.
Yeah. Do you guys have veterinarians?
We do. We got great veterinarians.
Okay. I was just curious, for those who are still held up on the poor hamster story. I know I am.
We don't have pet cemeteries. No. So they got to still be.
I want to find out what Paul did with those hamsters. Maybe we will. Cameron, thanks so much for joining us. We do have to go to break. In just a few minutes, we'll bring everybody back to the mic and get more of their opinions. We'll be right back.